Yep. Hello, 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 hello. Okay. Don't know what happened there, but hey, welcome, everybody. It wouldn't be illustrious Tuesday back at our stuff as usual on this good old Tuesday. And I know a lot of people are doing their own thing, so I will be checking out uh, Ms. Villanore's interview later on after I come. Still, you can't hear me, but you can't hear me. Oh man. Okay. Um, Hold the fort down for me for a second. I will pop back out. I don't know what's going on, but I'm gonna pop back out and come back in.
Hey, could y'all hear me? Hey, Melissa. Hey, Patty Duke. Hey, Jay Parrish. Can y'all let me know if you could hear me? Thank you, Patty. How's everybody doing? We're having some technical difficulties.
How about now? Still nothing? Oh my freaking gosh. Give me a second.
There we go. Don't touch nothing.
I ain't touching nothing.
Okay.
Oh, I don't know what's going on. But anyway.
That's because we should have taken 2 weeks.
Right. Goddamn spirits. Well, back to it. Welcome everybody to another episode of Politics and Wellness. Of course, it's Tuesday, and like any other Tuesday, first of all, I want to say thank you all for your birthday wishes, for the 1 week hiatus. Thank you so much. It was well deserved, and yeah, hopefully you had a great Tuesday off as well, and you and the missus was able to reignite some burning flames, some fires and desires.
I'm thirsty. I'm thirsty.
Is your part?
I was parched.
Oh gosh.
Oh boy, did you really enjoy your birthday?
I did. I got some good stuff, so I was very surprised about that, and I even bought myself some good stuff because of course you gotta gift yourself. So
That's right.
I definitely did do that. So thank you all. Greatly appreciate it. So I guess without further ado, we'll get into some things real quick. There's a lot going on. Once I find my stuff and it pulls up for me, there we go. All right, so let's get into some of these. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the chat. I didn't mean to ignore everybody, but I was going through my own little thing with this daggone whatever StreamYard got going on. But Jay Parrish, hello. Auntie Melissa Scott, how are you? And Miss Patty Duke, say my name, Patty, twice, 3 times, 4 times. Hey, Miss Patty, how are you? And for everybody in the balcony who is, chilling and doing their own thing, and our lustrous balcony with nice cashmere seating, cushioning. Welcome. And hopefully you hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. But anyway, let's get into some recent news. Where shall we go? There's so much to talk about as far as recent news.
Ain't it a mess?
It's a whole lot of mess. Let's talk about real quick the Senate advancing the gun safety bill, overcoming the filibuster. So in the first bipartisan thing ever that the Senate has done, they had advanced a bipartisan gun safety bill, which passed threatened the filibuster on last Thursday, setting the final vote for later in the day of Friday, which should have come or should be coming this Friday, depending on when I grab this story up. But yeah, I was on vacation for real. So yeah.
Yeah, it turned everything off
Yeah,
dark.
really did.
That's why nothing's working.
Go black. So the bill responds to, of course, the mass shooting in Texas, where those children were killed, and also in Buffalo, New York, which would enhance background checks for gun buyers and younger than 21, providing money to administer red flag laws and crack down on straw purchasers. The measure advanced as a vote from 65 to 34, with at least 60 votes that were needed, which beat the filibuster, of course. Mitch McConnell's turkey neck said that he wanted to do something in response to the shocking violence at the Robb Elementary School, where 18-year-old gunmen had killed 19 children.
No, all of a sudden they want to do something.
Yeah. How about it? Because that was just my thought. Like, now, all of a sudden, you want to do something. How many murders of children has it been till now? All of a sudden, you want to do something, which is ridiculous.
Because of the polls, man.
Right, because of the polls, and it's an election year. Yeah, great. Right, and thank you all for the birthday wishes. I just got a text for birthday, but you late. So yeah, we'll deal with that.
You're right, Patty. It is a waste of time.
Yeah, total waste of time. But because it's an election cycle, get with it to know that this is midterms. So of course they're going to do anything to make sure that they get the majority in the House and the Senate this go around. So we'll see if that pays off, because the way it's looking right now, New York and Illinois, I believe, has just entered in their primary season. So this will be the test to see if this last kind of hurrah for the summer that the Supreme Court just dropped, where Molly, you in danger, girl. You women need to really get on it, because the Supreme Court, of course, has overturned Roe v. Wade, ending a 50-year of federal abortion rights, with a decision from 5-4 overturning Roe v. Wade, landmarking an established constitutional rule to abortion. Roe, since 1973, had permitted abortions during the first and second trimesters of pregnancy in the United States. Almost half of the states have expected to outlaw or severely restrict abortions as a result of the Supreme Court's decision on the Mississippi case of Dobbs versus Jackson versus the Women's Health Organization. So yeah, the same usual suspects. Sam Alito and, of course, Clarence Uncle Thomas have had their praising opinions in regards to that ruling. And, of course, Kavanaugh, I believe, joined into his views.
Amy Coney.
Right, Amy Coney Barrett. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And two of those, of course, those two justices on the question of abortion and Roe v. Wade answered in the affirmative that they considered it to be standard law and that they would not go against it. But of course, given the opportunity, they changed their tune and went straight forward, which of course I'm not surprised, but this is where elections have consequences. And, they're not just kind of, oh, you hold your nose and deal with it for 4 years. Because if they have the power, they will do whatever they need to do. Just like, of course, if you've been watching this hearing, everybody thinks Donald Trump has used the people to kind of push his agenda. But the reality is they use Donald Trump to push their agenda as well. And while he was talking all crazy, not again? Go on. Okay, hold on. Am I back now? Gone now? Back now, gone now? Still gone. Okay. I don't know. Oh, okay. I think I figured it out. How about now? Okay, so I'm not sure if you can hear me. Can you hear me? If you can hear me, put a thumbs up in the chat. If you can't hear me, let me know. Because I don't know if I can hear myself. Because I don't have my headset on. So if you can hear me, please put a 1 in the chat. Other than that, I'll just be talking to myself. So need to wear chastity belts. Yeah, I will definitely read that play. But okay, cool. Thank you, Patty Duke. But yeah, I will definitely read that play. But yeah, it's turning out to be the a drama series, a book, The Handmaid's Tale. Like all this stuff is actually becoming something in real life that we need to definitely pay attention to. Like this is not a game. The Republicans have been playing the long game while we've been playing the short game and checkers. They've been playing chess the whole time, building their board.
Now, a 40-year move. That was a 40-year move.
Yeah. I've been, listening to other people's commentaries. And
oh my God, isn't that sickening?
Yeah. And
okay.
Opinions on Roe v. Wade, and people are tired of paying for people's abortion and having children and all this kind of stuff. And it's like the reality of the whole taxpayer dollars is that your contribution of your $10 or $15, whatever it is, granted, it's not as much as you think, goes towards those public things like, food stamps and all these other things. And the reality is the contributors, or the not the contributors, but the people who benefit the most, for lack of the better word, are not us from those programs. If you actually look at the statistics, the large amount of people who are recipients of welfare program like food stamps and other things of that nature are other white folks.
Just do the numbers.
Just look at this. The numbers are out there. So when we talk about, you don't want to pay for this, you don't want to pay for that, you're not paying it for who you think you're paying it for. But that's the way the media has portrayed this ever since Reagan started talking about the welfare queen and this whole thing on
the white queen.
Right. When it's actually the white welfare queen who is actually receiving and benefiting from these programs.
Man could still live in the household.
Yeah. How about that? And still collect. So yeah, we definitely need to start paying attention and knowing all this. They really need to do something about that. But in other news, real quick, Dante writes.
Oh, I wasn't finished.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, I wasn't finished.
No, go ahead.
Okay. Because I didn't want to jump back to it. Because once I'm done with it, I want to be done with it.
Yeah. Throw it all away.
Yeah, just throw it all. Yeah, they've been playing a long game. This is a 40 plus year thing that they've been working at it, chipping at it along the way. And just some of the comments I've been listening and purposely not dropping. I think I dropped down to maybe 1 or 2 chats, and I said, I'm not doing that shit anymore. These motherfuckers have no idea, and they sounded so stupid.
Yeah.
I really couldn't, because the first thing I heard about is, well, now you're gonna have to be careful about where you're sticking your dick, and men are just gonna have to step up and do all this. And I was like, well, what? No. You can't even go. I mean, because they spent the whole entire chat discussing the sex portion of it.
Yeah, right. And it's so much larger than that.
And it's so much larger than that. The reason why you had abortions is because women were dying. They needed a safe place.
Right.
And they were just looking at that aspect of, the men better do this, and if the women weren't doing all that. And I'm like, wait a minute, I said, and I told I wrote down in one chat, I told them, I said, you know what? Y'all spend too much fucking time baiting the same shit that you talk about all the time.
Right.
People gonna do what they do. I said, and some people are forced to do things that are beyond their control.
Very true.
So what you need to concentrate on, because you'll be fussing about that shit till the end of time.
Right.
Now we're gonna have to do what we as Black people do best: figure and work our way around this shit, so that at least our people, our women, if they want to choose,
because they made a choice.
No, I mean, if they want to choose to terminate a pregnancy, that and they may not have the means, what can we do to help them? It doesn't always have to be monetary. It could be, you may already have children.
Right.
Maybe you need a babysitter. I'll keep the kids for a couple of days. You don't necessarily need somebody all in your business.
Right.
And that's another thing. Just be an ear.
Right. You can take it back to the boycott days where, it wasn't always a monetary thing, but people use their vehicles, or they use whatever they
transportation, or people to walk them into the clinic, because that they're going to be protesters outside of the clinic. Now, I have a problem with the Democrats because they knew that this was coming up.
Right.
Okay. There are like 6 or 7 things that they could do to circumvent. And the easiest thing is that the federal government has federal property, federal lands in each state.
Yep.
So you could set up a temporary abortion clinics on federal property.
Right.
Which the state has no control over whatsoever. Why didn't they already just start this thing in motion that, give us 2 weeks, we'll have everything up and running. They'll get in touch with the local clinics that were in the area, because, in some states, the clinics had to, they were the only clinics there. They had to shut down. So, why wasn't that already done? Already done and up and rolling.
Well, one, they're always behind the ball.
Well, we know that. Look, I'm so
tired.
I'm tired. I'm really tired. They are so weak.
Yeah.
They are so weak. But like I said, they had several things that they could do. And how are you going to tell a woman? How are you just going to tell a person that they're second class?
Yeah.
Because because you're just, we need you to do this.
Right.
And you can Google it too. I asked. I'm glad there wasn't no what you call it going on. Turn that shit down. I had enough of that foolishness. There are over 400,000 children in foster care.
Right.
I think
once you're born, they don't give a damn about you.
Yeah, because it's fucking crazy, man.
It makes no sense.
Because they're talking about, we'll have people to adopt. You don't adopt the children that are already here
in the system, right?
That
you don't
fall in the system.
Feed the children that are in the system.
That fall prey to predators.
Right.
And there was a couple that had a sign up there, and they were the white bread couple, and they would hold the sign. And if they didn't look creepy as shit,
I'm not surprised.
Okay, if they did not look creepy as shit.
But even some more creepy shit. How about this for creepy?
President Trump, on behalf of all the MAGA patriots in America, I want to thank you for the historic victory for life in the Supreme Court yesterday.
Isn't that what it's always been about?
Yeah. Did you see the people in the background?
Right.
They didn't even flinch.
Right.
Not at all. Normally they would be shocked and they would look at each other.
Right.
That type of thing. They didn't even flinch.
Yeah. Because they already know what it's about. And the only clueless people, of course, is the ones, the ones that look like us that's paid to be back there. They're like, wait, what?
Well, that's because they get the same 12 people.
Yeah, of course. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the chat. Thanks for coming. Please make sure you hit that thumbs up button. But yeah, so, um, you know,
It's
a lot of
crazy.
that.
The Democrats are so goddamn weak, and they have showed it. But they're both playing in our faces.
Right.
They're
Exactly.
both playing in our faces because see, Joe Biden. That's what. See, we haven't gotten anything.
Hmm.
People of color, black people,
Right.
haven't gotten anything, and what they're using this as a way to stimulate the voters that they wouldn't get normally. But now they have all these. Maybe they'll have some of these Republican women to jump over to
Mhm.
bolster the numbers that he knows he's not going to get from the black people because he's reneged on his agreements.
Right. Right.
We
Of course.
don't expect you to actually get everything done, but we
Right.
expect you to try.
Right. Yeah.
You
There,
know,
there definitely should be some sort of attempt to uh, do what you said to do. Speaking of which, as you nicely segue into this, despite the growing outside pressure of the movement for reparations, the White House will still not commit President Joe Biden into signing an executive order dealing with reparations. During the White House press briefing last week, they asked the press secretary, Jean Pierre, if the president would create a commission through executive action in regards to reparation. In her response, of course, she didn't respond regarding that. And of course, the week before last, we talked about California being the first state to push towards some sort of reform for reparations. I really just think it's about the money. Like it's really just giving people money because money in this how this economy works and whatever, money is power, and it's handing over that power that they don't want to do. They'll do a program instantly because a program you can, not everybody's going to be able to access the program, so you're still going to have some that will be outside of the program that won't be able to benefit. But if you're giving actual funds to people, that has to go to everybody. So then, then you're dealing with, oh, what are they going to do? What does it matter? What does it matter? So I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, I think now towards, as we get closer towards the midterms, they may start talking about it more. I think the White House may push to do something, but I don't know. I don't know. Your thoughts, if any?
I don't have.
Don't hold your breath, huh?
No, it's not happening. It's not happening. It is not happening. It's like take your pick week.
Right. Yeah, it really is. It really is take your pick week. The other week, I know we talked about the January 6th committee hearing. And of course, there was a hearing, an emergency hearing this week. And welcome, Apple System. Thank you for coming. Please like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. So there was an emergency hearing today with a former, I guess she was the White House chief of staff, like assistant.
Yeah, I think she's like some sort of assistant. But shit, they're only all of them only in there for like 15 minutes, so it was like a revolving door. I was like,
yeah,
I don't remember this one. Who is she?
Right. I don't think she was one of the top aides that have been named. However, she was always in the room or around the room when the shit was going down, especially towards this January 6th thing. And she responded, and did the depositions, and she was supposed to testify, and she got scared. So upon growing pressures of course, intimidation from former Republican people who will not be named, by Liz Cheney, of course, she was brave enough to basically come forward to the American people and say the things that she was privy to during this whole time. She was a former aide to Mark Meadows. Okay. So yeah, I mean, I mean, a lot of this stuff is like riveting, I guess, to some people, but I'm just like, I'm not surprised. Like, this man for years has not been held accountable for anything. So why would this surprise anybody that he was not willing to give up? Like, he was willing to actually have people on the ground fighting for him. If that meant bloodshed, then so be it. And there was, no turning back. Now, as far as him fighting with the Secret Service in the car for them to turn the car around, I don't know if I buy that, but
yeah, that doesn't seem like him.
That doesn't seem like him. I can see him
just like I could not picture him walking anywhere. But,
right.
Anyway.
I
anyway,
think him maybe having a fit, and kind of like turn this car around, but him actually like reaching up to the front of the car and trying to grab the wheel. I don't think so.
I always figured they had separated glass.
Yeah, right.
It's the self-contained. The damn thing is like a tank.
Right.
So I would figure that way.
Well, apparently, I think what they drove him to the ellipse in was like an SUV type thing. So I'm not sure how that's set up. It wasn't necessarily the regular.
Have you seen the doors on that thing?
Right. How heavy they are. Tank doors. They are heavy as hell. So
Patty says she believes he did it.
But I mean,
he's trying to say the driver had a hamburger in his hand. He's trying to grab that burger. That's the only thing I could see him moving, or maybe grabbing a pussy.
Right. I mean, I can see him having a tantrum, but I don't know if I see him necessarily grabbing the wheel. And if that was the case, and if he did that, then that's endangering federal officers. So then why didn't a Secret Service agent come forward and say at least that piece? You know what I'm saying? Because that's clearly a violation of federal law right there. So I don't know. There's a lot of, again, we're not going to tell on him kind of deal. But it's like all these people are coming forward basically saying that this was the plan, that this was orchestrated. He knew he was going to lose. He knew he had lost. And they were just trying to do whatever they could to hold on to power. Again, I mean, what does this mean for the American people or the people that really care? I don't know. What I'm hoping it means is that you just go out and vote. That you go out and vote. That you cannot afford to sit any elections out. When you sit an election out, you might as well hand over the keys to the car, because whomever gets in is who's going to be driving. And that goes for your locals, for your federals, anybody. So, if you're really concerned about where this country is headed with because they won't stop at abortion, Terrence.
Oh no, they coming after
everything. They're coming after gay marriage. They're coming after the right to privacy, because that's
the whole thing.
For abortion, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody thinks like abortion has everything to do with people having abortions and all. No, it has a lot to do with, one, they're trying to keep their majority as far as their whiteness going and stop the browning of this nation and other places, because this is not just a localized thing as far as America. This is all over. If you look at Europe, everywhere else, Putin's message of a white purity Christian world is happening. And we sit back and look like, it ain't got nothing to do with us, but it has everything to do with us. So with that, we have gay marriage on the docket. We have right to privacy, which would mean if you knock out gay marriage, then you will basically say that people cannot cohabitate together, because they're going to come after that as well. So 2 men, 2 women, that will be certain things in many states that won't be tolerated. People will be probably in jail or other things of that nature, just like they do in other parts of the world, like in Africa. And
they're brutal.
Yeah. And other parts in Africa, like
if you think you're gonna run and hide there, don't hold your breath.
Yeah, right. Because it's not happening. Happening. I mean, all of these things have larger consequences. So this is just the tip of the iceberg for this. And my theory is, of course, in all of this, they're going to push all of this as quick and as expeditiously as they can, because even though they will still have the majority when Ms. Jackson becomes a justice, there is a possibility, though, that depending upon the midterms, if they still maintain and even gain more of the majority, and this is just hypothetically speaking, they can start talking about adding more justices to the court, which would then change things.
I don't see that happen.
Yeah.
I really don't. They're weak as fuck, man.
Yeah.
They're weak as fuck. I don't know what they're afraid of.
Well, some of their argument is, oh, they don't want to have another January 6th thing. But my whole thing is,
it's going to happen anyway.
Yeah, right.
It's going to happen anyway.
Do what you would have done if it was a peaceful Black Lives Matter protest. You would have had the army standing there and ready to fire on any motherfucker that tried to step into that Capitol unannounced. And the same way, start popping these white folks. They'll get it. They'll get it because they've been so kind of trained that this is theirs, that they own it. If you are popping them like you pop us for no reason, they'll back down. They'll back down because they don't think they should stink. I mean, you show them even when it's, people that have higher means. Look at Donald Trump. I mean, literally, how much more do you need to know that this man needs to be in jail?
Oh, a long time ago.
Right. Right. Not just now, a long time ago. That's why I don't even buy Bill Barr talking about, oh, he told him this was bullshit. Oh, you told him this is bullshit now. But all that other time, as long as it benefited you, it was okay.
It was perfectly fine.
Right. It was okay.
And how much further can we go?
Right. So
without anybody knowing that I'm involved. That's what it was.
Right.
Yeah, but with the other young lady coming to the Supreme Court, it's just going to be an even swap.
Yeah,
maybe, because you got to remember she is married to a white. She does have a white husband.
Right.
And you know what? You can't trust anybody.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's true.
And and Clarence Thomas showing his ass, and what we need to do is go after his wife.
Yeah.
Because his wife is a traitor. Now
Yeah.
I make it no pun. I don't hide the fact that I do not like the government. Okay.
Yeah. Right.
And I would not hesitate to do what a black man needs to do. Why are you laughing?
Huh?
Why are you laughing?
Yeah, it's funny. Understandable, because I know exactly what you mean. But
you sit and you see the things that go on.
Yeah.
But you know that you figure out that you are of more value as a source of information, because there's still a lot of people that just don't get it, or maybe it's not in the language that they understand.
Right.
So you find that, you want to run up there and cap everybody and do all that kind of shit, but it is not going to do any good if information is lost.
Right. And I think that's the problem with politics in and of itself. It is not at a place where people understand. And I think the Democrats try to make it so this extra thing, and it's just like, no, cut it to the basics. Like, give the people the facts. Yeah. They don't need all the extra. Give them the facts, exactly how it is, either how it benefits them or how it affects them, and let them decide. Stop trying to, always act like, you're the person that knows the answers. And it's just like, well, give the person the options. Let them know what it is, how it affects them, what it does, how it works, how it doesn't work, instead of all this kind of, evasive kind of, oh, I'm not going to go into it. And if the polling shows that it's not beneficial to me, I'm still not going to inform the people about it because I don't want it to be attached to me. It's ridiculous. At this point, it's like they don't give a shit. These people really don't care. Either you're going to help them, or it's like, nah, I hate these guys so much, I will do anything to get these guys out of power. And right now, that's kind of where we're at. It's like, I don't even care nothing about what it does for my community, how it affects my pockets. I just hate these people so much. I just want them out of here. And it's just like, where the fuck are we? Are we in like Germany in the 40s and shit? Like
pretty much.
Yeah, like
that's what it's coming down to. I mean, you go after one, eventually you're going to have to, they definitely will go after another, because nothing has been done. The marching up and down the street, it's cute and whatever. Now people feel emboldened. If you've noticed, people feel emboldened now that they're running them over with cars.
Yeah.
They're going into that now, because you have states that say that they've loosened the laws that they
Yeah.
can't prosecute you. So, well, you know what you do? You drag them out the fucking car and you stomp them half to
Like
death.
Florida. Yeah.
And that's, you know, because they, how do you take a truck, a
I
Ford,
don't know.
a Ford 250, and run down women walking across the street?
Yeah.
You know, that kind of thing. And
Very,
you know, all these crazy crackers, they can't wait to do this shit.
they can't wait to get the green light to do it and actually get away with it.
Yeah, but Clarence Thomas is showing his ass.
Yeah.
And what they need to do is they need to press down on his wife.
Right. Right.
Like I said, she is a
She's
traitor.
Yeah.
Because it is given. That's it. I'm not a traitor yet because I hadn't touched nobody up there on Capitol Hill. But believe me, if I could, Lord Jesus Christ.
So, yeah, she is a piece of work, and she definitely.
Oh, she's a piece of something. But notice they didn't say anything about the interracial marriage.
Right, but again, even that, you know what I'm saying? Even that would be on the docket then. If once you strip away at one, all of those things kind of fall in that same right to privacy. It's all in that. It's all kind of jumbled together in the right to privacy. So then that opens the doors.
Oh yeah, yeah, because I guess they were trying to scare some women by saying that, you know, eventually they will you know, some sort of way that they'll be able to track if you go out of state.
If you go out of state,
they want to pack these laws and things like that.
Charging people with crimes for going out of state to have procedures done, like abortions and other things. Yeah, but again, and this is why I don't. When stuff like this happens and people start marching in the street and all these women are marching in the street, don't give me that shit when you go come November and vote and you vote for the same exact person that put you in oppression to begin with, just because you don't agree with the overall democratic side of politics. If you're for women's rights and you agree with, you know, a woman having their right to choose, then that's what's on the ballot come November. So don't march now and be all upset now crying, and then come November, you're voting for Republicans.
No, white women don't be crying. Don't be crying 12 years later and 6 kids later. and your damn vagina's dragging the ground.
Looking stupid.
Looking dumb.
Dumb as hell. So in other political news real quick, a Rhode Island state Senate candidate speaks out after a Republican opponent who is a cop assaulted her during an abortion rally.
That was crazy.
Let's take a look at this beautiful beam footage here before I get into the rest of the story. Now, briefly, as you can see in the little clip that was the black woman was the actual Senate candidate, and
in the red.
Right, in the red.
She was in red.
If you want me to play it again, just press one.
Play it again.
Play it again for the people in the back. Okay.
And as you see, he did connect with her face.
He did hit her in the face. So, and the other person is actually a cop running as her Republican opponent for the Senate race. Now, this is where we start saying we get to a point where protecting our own is important. You know what I'm saying? Granted, we are out here. A lot of people are running for office for the first time due to all of the things that have happened in their neighborhoods, killings by police officers, by unarmed black men and women, and to the point where people, average day people, are now taking it upon themselves to join into the political fight. And things like this are happening to these people, and nothing happens to the person who assaulted them. This person is a candidate for Rhode Island's state seat. And like, how do you know, like, really putting your hands on somebody? Now, somebody would have kind of waxed his ass. Then they're like, oh, we're pressing charges. This is what the political climate has come to. But really, he was able to, and he looked every bit of Spanish. I don't see no, I just see light in Spanish man.
No, but he's light. He's mixed in there.
Yeah, yeah.
He's definitely mixed in there. But I want to know what led up to it, because they just
Right.
he didn't come out and say, it's my pussy, and then he
Right,
dissed.
right.
I want to see if they probably got into a screaming match.
Yeah, but I mean, that doesn't still entitle you to put
you
your
don't touch
hands on
nobody.
somebody because
You want to touch people, but you don't touch anybody, especially not for something like you're
right,
both
for
at
a difference of opinion,
at a
and this is
rally.
what I'm saying. For a difference of a political opinion, there's no need to be touching on people. Hey, what's going on, Virginia Redbone? How are you? When you start putting your hands on people, then it's different, and then the whole dynamic changes. So then when people are at your door, just like they have been for many other Black women,
No, go ahead.
No,
I didn't know. I had a thought. No, go ahead. But how much of a bitch are you to hit a woman?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
If she hadn't attacked you, now believe me, I'll smoke a bitch with no problem. Because if you could put your hands on me, and they have to put their hands on me first. Yeah. But to sit up there and go fist to fist, believe me, because I slam a motherfucker. It would be no problem.
Yeah, but
because then you're telling me that
a woman in the face like that.
Yeah, but
that's ridiculous. And I know I wouldn't feel no type.
They were up north, right?
If Rhode Island.
See, he wasn't gonna do that shit below the Mason-Dixon line.
It'd be like that man though that in Jersey that was fighting with his neighbor, and then they showed up to dude's house. The whole
the whole
area came together.
Drove from out of town
to sit in front of that man's house. So and this is what we've come to. We need to start protecting our own. When things like this happen, we need to start spreading it. Use social media, what they use it for. Start spreading the message, spreading these little situations out.
And don't wait. Put it out there.
Right.
Because as soon as they think that they could squash it,
right, they will.
You don't sit down and wait to negotiate with the police department or the mayor's office or something like that. And then when they don't tell you what you want to hear, then all of a sudden you're going to put that shit out first. Let them do damage control. Right. But it's already been out there and people have already seen it and made up their mind, especially if the footage speaks for itself. Because now what's the point? You have cops that have body cams, but yet they still trying to hocus pocus the whole thing.
As always, you know how that goes.
So that's why I don't hit men unless necessary. Patty, you out here beating up men.
Well, I'm just saying, keep your hands to yourself, especially if you can't fight. Just don't do it, because
but it was a point in time where women just figured that because they just figured that a real man wouldn't hit a woman. I'm a real man, and I'd stomp you to death with no problem. Because I'm just that type of person. Anybody shouldn't put their hands on you.
Right.
And I don't care because you have a vagina and ovaries that you think that you can be manhandling me, because if you hit me, regardless if you're a man or woman, it still hurts.
Right. So you don't believe in turning the other cheek?
Oh no, I believe in using the other fist. That's what I mean. And I will believe me, I will hurt you. Because I told you what that time my mother slapped me in my back of my head, right? And she was playing. I mean, she was playing, but I don't play like that.
Yeah,
I don't even play like that with my wife. I've been hitting and slapping and all that kind of shit. Because
you might just hit too hard.
Shit get too hard. The shit ain't fun no more.
Yeah,
okay.
My mom had did that to me, and just my instant reaction, my dad jumped on me and was like, "I don't think this is what you want to do, son." I was just like, "I am calm."
But you know that feeling when your temperature jumps, and you get all hot and clammy because you're furious, you don't know what's going on, and it's just that fight or flight reaction, and that's what I get. But a lot of women out here had gotten to that point where they figured that they'd walk up, slap the guy on his head and whatever else, and he's trying to hold back. No. Slam that bitch. If a nigga did that shit to you, you slam that motherfucker.
Right. That part is true. That part
plain and simple. That's why I don't feel bad when I be watching that shit over there on World Star Hip Hop. I be giggling.
Not giggling.
I ain't gonna lie. I be giggling. They walk, especially these little girls. These little girls, like they be sliding them down the pole. They got all that they had that little dog energy.
Yeah.
And it's like a little gnat. It's like, just go away, go away, go away. And then when he pick her up and pile drive her right on her neck.
I told you, son. You be like, but you didn't have to slam her like that, though.
Yes, you did, because you need to be taught that lesson that everybody, because it could be even worse. I've seen people get capped, so for less.
Yeah. Trust and believe that. In other news, of course, former Democratic candidate for governor, Andrew Gillum, who narrowly was defeated by Ron DeSatan, Ron DeSantis, the governor.
You had it right first time.
Yeah, I know. The governor of Florida is now facing a 26-page indictment on some campaign charges involving his mentor, who has a company, and they've been funneling funds from the company to the campaign and paying Gillum and all this other kind of stuff. I mean, I'm just like, I don't get it with him. I really don't. I mean, like, the writing's on the wall. They've been gunning for you since you've been mayor of Tallahassee, sir. Mm-hmm. Gunning for you.
Yeah, because he poses a real threat.
Yeah, right. But when you know this, you just, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to be something that you're not. I'm not saying that, but you just know that they're watching you, waiting for you to slip up. So everything needs to be like together. Nothing needs to be, if you needed to call the Obamas and speak to them like, hey, how do I do this? How do I make this work? Where I, keep everything intact because I know they're coming for me. Call the man. I'm sure he will sit down and talk to you like, listen, you need to stop doing this. You need to do this. You need to, because they're looking at you. They know that you have the possibility to then take Florida in a different direction. And at any chance they know that you're considering entering in that race, they will cut you down as much as they can. So I don't understand, even from him being in the hotel with the white men. Dude, what are you doing?
That was stupidity and being reckless.
Yeah, and then you could just say, oh, well, yeah, I'm drugs and alcohol and I'm in rehab. That's easy for them to say and quick for them to, oh, he was in drugs and rehab. He's now, we can't even walk in that space, because once we say that, especially to them in this kind of climate, it's always that. You're not the Marion Barry of DC, so that's not going to happen. No, you're not going to get that kind
Even though his was pretty, it was bad.
Yeah, his was bad, but they kept voting for him. You know what I'm saying? But you don't have that.
Yeah, well, that's because he proves himself as the mayor,
right? But
and the people knew what he was about, and just because he was in the hotel room, he was on his time. That's like you having a drink, okay?
Right. Yeah. Like I didn't really get that. So I just found that to be like a bit much. Even with the while he was the mayor of Tallahassee, there was an FBI agent who approached him undercover, asking him for a project, a building project in the area, and gave him, I believe, tickets to New York and Hamilton to kind of sweeten the deal, which he denied. But the FBI, of course, they have their informant who was there to kind of do this. So understand that at every moment when you are, sometimes people see the value in you that you don't see. And when they see it, and they'll try to kill it. And I just think like, it's like, sir, tighten up. Like, you could really do this. You could really take Florida in a different direction. Granted, not a lot of people gonna vote for you, but there are some people that will, because it's about progression. So I don't know.
Yeah, but he was doing pretty good damage control. I think that's why they came at him again. because when he went on those TV shows and his wife was there and he's talking about his bisexuality and whatever.
Right. And he was about to enter the race again.
And he was going to enter it again.
Yep. And he would have gotten the whole LGBT, well, some of them would have voted.
Well, with things going on with the way that
Florida's doing
at the moment,
that's what
he'd have got them.
Yeah, that's
he had that in his pocket.
Yeah, he would have swept it. I'm sure Disney would have backed him to put some money in his pocket so they can maintain their kind of protection. So
because they know that the gays have money. Okay, when you have these corporations backing you like that, they know that you have disposable income,
right?
Because you don't have 6 or 7 children,
right? So
Patty, you didn't vote for him, girl. You know he was giving some discounts on some crack cocaine. Girl,
I just find it to be a bit much. It's just crazy.
Well, I'm sorry you're disappointed that I was talking about hitting women. Yeah, but this is how it goes. If you put your hands on me, anybody can get it. Plain and simple.
And I mean, and for some people that is just what it is. You know what I'm saying? There is no respect of person. Just like he was able to put his hands on her. You know, we sit up there talking about, well, what was said? What does it matter? What was said? Even if she says she's for abortion and she don't want nobody dictating, no pun intended, what goes in or comes out of her own vagina, that's her business.
That's her business. And that's right.
He don't have no right to put his hands on her because
she has the final say.
Right.
So the female, the childbearer,
right,
whatever you want to call it,
whatever you want to call
they have the final say.
They do. And the fact that other people can now dictate.
That's right. Trying to dictate your reproductive rights. Your reproductive rights. Knowing damn well they're not going to give you it. They're not going to take care of it.
Yeah, and that's the part that gets me. It's like, all right, cool. If you're demanding that these women care for these children full term, then what are you doing as, okay, so we're not going to put the government in. We're just going to say the states. What are the states willing to do to protect these quote unquote children now that they have mandated that they be here? Nothing is in place, but you can praise and shout and, oh, this is a glorious day. We're turning this more into a Christian religious state.
No, it's a cult.
Well, that too.
It's a cult.
Yeah.
What we're witnessing now
is cultish activity. Behavior. Yeah. But it's really sad that we have lost the civics and it's now becoming more, everything is more religious based. But like I said 2 weeks ago, that if this is the case and this is where we're headed, then these motherfuckers need to start paying their taxes. And these pastors riding around in G5 planes and private jets and stuff, where are their tax returns?
And stop being able to hide your money offshore.
Right. Where are their funds? Because they need to start paying too. Because if you dictate what a woman does with their bodies, what people do when they're behind closed doors sexually, if we're starting to create this whole thing and these pastors get to sit back like fat rats and make all this money off their parishioners and not pay up and still get government funds and welfare, people need to start paying.
Yeah, but also, if you're not aware, the United States has the worst infant mortality rate amongst the developed countries. Okay.
Yeah.
We haven't taken care of that problem. And especially with Black women.
Yeah.
The mortality rate.
Yeah.
And it will get worse.
Mm-hmm.
So you have not funded any money or any studies or anything to make it better for a pregnant woman.
Right.
But yet you're going to force women all over the country because of it's going to be a national that's the next thing for them to go national,
Mm-hmm.
because you can't have a patchwork of what some states won't do this, some states will do this, and
Yeah,
you're crossing lines better than that.
but after if Republicans gain control, trust and believe they're going to make it a nationwide ban.
Yeah, and that's what they're going for.
And that's what
what
they're
they're going.
pushing
You
for.
think
Right.
it's going to stop? You think we're safe here?
Right.
You know,
Right.
it's going to be one. It's going to, you get the right people in there that can pull the right strings.
Right. And a nationwide ban, here we come.
Let's see, corporate welfare.
Yeah.
You say my son better not put his hands on the girl. No, you need to teach your son, if anyone puts their hands on him, that he stomps the shit out of them. You can't allow that.
Right. Well, yeah.
The first rule is self-preservation. I know women that could beat me.
Yeah.
I'm 220 pounds. I'm 6 feet tall.
And there's a woman that will throw some hands in a minute.
Oh, not necessarily just throw hands. They're just more aggressive than I am. And no, don't set your son up like that, because he'll be some woman's fool. She'll treat him like a dog. Shit.
You treat like a dog.
Yeah, treat him like a. You see them women treat them men like dogs. Be talking about them and doing all that, and he running behind her and all that. Be some goddamn woman's lapped up. Fuck that shit.
I can't with you.
Well, why are you laughing? It's the truth, and I'm not. I'm not trying to be funny.
Yeah,
but you see it.
Yeah, you do see it.
Play him for a fool. Wrap him around her finger. Because once she know that she can wiggle her fingers in them cracks. Go ahead, next thing.
So, do you remember this guy? Speaking of crazy cracks, crackers.
Crackers?
Yes, crackers.
Come on, Patty, you can't knock
from all charges in the Kenosha self-defense case. From the very beginning, I did nothing wrong. But that didn't stop the media from smearing my name. It's time to fight back against the fake news machine. This is why I'm launching the Kyle Rittenhouse fake news trick and shoot video game.
Idiot! Oh, what a loser! Good!
The media is nothing but a bunch of turkeys with nothing better to do than push their lying agenda and destroy innocent people's lives. So go to RittenhouseGame.com and pre-order the game now and help me fund the lawsuit to stop these fake news turkeys.
It's the fake news turkey shoot. You got a laser gun going pew pew pew. Filing lawsuits. We about to bankrupt the fake news. Go to RittenhouseGame.com.
Cover them lawsuits.
Yeah. What the fuck was that? Not to mention, we just had a mass shooting, 2 of them. And the fact that we're still pushing this, it just, again, reminded me of Sarah Palin when she was putting crosshairs on senators and congresspeople when she was running with John McCain during that election cycle.
Right, Patty. I wish somebody would take that fool out.
Enough's enough already. Like, how much more? Like, get the fuck out of here. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Well, he's a Republican poster child.
Yeah, but I mean, that's ridiculous. You're just continuously promoting this type of violence, this type of, go after them. You're circumventing real people for turkeys, but the reality is, we all know what it means. You know what I'm saying? You have the news titles on these particular turkeys. Like, so, I mean, come on, it's a bit ridiculous. And then once somebody goes out and promotes this act, then we'll start talking about, we don't know where this came from. We really need to start looking at mental health. fuck that shit. This is the type of shit that you need to start putting a gag order on if there's anything.
Now, see, that's what I'm surprised that. Well, I'm sure that would have to come from the victim's family. Going, and what they should do. Have they done a civil suit?
No.
Have they sued?
Not
That's
yet.
You know what? That would be an ass kicker right there. Let that motherfucker make all that money, then snatch all that shit right from underneath of him. Shut his ass down.
Right.
Because he thinks he did nothing wrong. And that's because those white boys told him he did nothing wrong. Even though he shot and killed. He
did nothing wrong. I mean, the judge even treated him like,
oh yeah. Well,
why this happened?
What do you expect? The black kid came up there, and I'm feeling the way I am feeling today. I'd pat him on his back. But anyway, the judge did, and he should. Well, I'm sure he retired.
Yeah, he retired quickly.
He retired, but that was before they latched onto his ass.
They start digging into his.
And just have him disbarred.
Yeah, they started digging his pieces and was talking about having him disbarred, and he quickly was like, "Oh, this is my time to exit." Because he already knew his time was coming.
Yeah, but the two families of the gentleman that he murdered, because he is a murderer,
right?
They need to do a civil suit. I would wait until he start making some. He's gonna make some money off of little white boys in the Midwest anyway, buying that shit for their phone, and snatch all that shit right from underneath of them.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Because he even comes out in the commercial and says something about, or it's either written, I'm not sure, that the money would be used for his defense on some.
Yeah, it would be used for him. Later on, he says the money will be used for his defense, and comically, I guess, in the commercial he was talking about, and building a fence to block out the fake news. So, it's just ridiculous. I mean, I don't know. What more gaslighting do you need in a time in which you had an 18-year-old shoot up an elementary school, while the police officers who are there to sworn and protect waited 90 minutes to go in to protect these children? It's ridiculous. But, then again, those people, the same people, oh, Blue Lives Matter, Blue Lives Matter. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. I don't get it. I really don't. I just find it to be a bit ridiculous. But I think that's I know there was another story that you recently. Miss Maxwell, Gretchen Maxwell.
I thought her name was Gilliam or whatever her name is. Gillian.
Gillian. Is it Gillian or Jillian? I thought it was pronounced
Ghislaine Maxwell.
Oh. All right.
GHISLAI.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. Yeah. Ghislaine Maxwell received 20 years for her involvement with the Epstein character who committed suicide, hint, when he was arrested.
Donald Trump, Bill Clinton.
Yeah, all of them.
All the motherfucking presidents.
Edward.
Was Obama over there too?
I don't know.
Because, they were showing pictures. Everybody had their arms around somebody.
Everybody. Had him murdered so he wouldn't be able to tell no tale.
I didn't think that she would
make it.
Make it through. Oh no, I thought they'd have killed her real fast.
Well, I think if they would have killed her, then it would have definitely been like, okay, let's dig into this, because there's some guilty folks around here. If two of these mofos that know all the secrets died, but I think in giving her 20 years,
suicide. We left some stockings. We left some stockings. When last time somebody wore stockings? Any of y'all wear stockings? They left some stockings in the cell.
But it was a male. It was the male side of the whole thing.
I'm talking about for her.
Oh.
Well, he might wear stockings too, because these motherfuckers are
freaky. Right. Yeah. So I don't. I don't
got the
know,
little
but
boys
I
out here
will
now
say in this 20th
wearing thigh
century,
highs.
well, those founding fathers wore thigh highs, so don't be surprised. Powdered wigs and thigh highs.
I saw that. I was like, what the
So
fuck?
I
What is
would.
this? This is lingerie. I
So
am not. I am not wearing skinny jeans or thigh highs.
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, that's crazy.
His stockings or pantyhose. Patty. I didn't even think people wore. I didn't think they wore them anymore.
I don't even know.
Only at funerals. Because you can't walk up into the Lord's building with bare legs.
Is that a religious thing? I've never heard that before, but it's funny.
Yeah, well, yeah, you're not supposed to wear. Well, they would. Well, back in the day,
Well,
women
yeah,
women couldn't wear pants. You can wear pants in church.
In church,
you're supposed to. No, Patty said no. They don't wear pantyhose or stockings anymore.
Okay. She said no.
Now their legs. Now what they do is they'll shave and then they get their legs all greasy. You know who does that? Patti LaBelle does that. Her legs be greasy as shit. She must be using the same cocoa butter you use. And I'm like, damn, girl, no, you just want to make sure you're not ashy. But you know how like greasy, like the bodybuilders.
Oh my gosh, yeah,
like the bodybuilder one. And I'm like, damn,
well,
Patty, why
she got a younger man, so she got to keep him, nice.
I mean, shit, it ain't that greasy. His motherfucker gonna slide right on through.
He's supposed to slide through, literally. Slide right on in.
Well, the older they get kind of dry. But anyway,
well, she needs the moisture.
Yeah, but god damn. But yeah.
Yeah, it's just crazy. So I don't know much about what's going on in these YouTube streets, but
me neither.
I did come across. I guess we'll talk about it. And we'll talk about, of course, all the entertainment stuff. But before then, if you want to catch me around in those, neighborhoods other than YouTube, you can catch me here at these places. All right. And we're back. Yeah. So real quick, I don't know what's going on too much. I know I happened to be in Brian's chat when Billy or whatever that man's name was there.
Yeah,
and
we leave a week and all these new names pop up.
Yeah, but
were they always there?
Right. A lot of these people have always been there, just like not everywhere. They've just been in certain people's chats and kind of dancing around. But this particular afternoon, or even whenever it was, I was listening to Brian, as I normally do it, or most of the people when I catch when I'm busy working or doing something, I'm always listening. And he was flirting. Dude was flirting hard. Okay, if he could have flirted any harder, he could have stuck his penis through the thing and shook Brian's hand with it. I mean, it was just that bad. And I just kept shaking my head.
I had enough of seeing people's penises,
right, and Brian was like,
and vaginas on these YouTube
your head
streets.
for? Because I'm just like, whatever. I think it was a bit much, but it's your channel. Cool. Like, do your thing. And then that turned into something. Then, of course, he had some choice words for Chopper, and it's just been a whole kind of confusing mess. Other zoo animals have gotten involved, and it's just like, I don't know. I just can't. To me, I mean, I don't any of it. I just be like, what's the deal? Like, what is really the deal? Granted, we already know the playbook. Those of us who've been here long enough, you put yourself out there, you do something salacious so people can talk about you, and you're the talk of the town for a week or a couple days.
Yeah,
And you
well,
go
you're the
around,
new kid on the block, so
right? You go around, do your little interviews, or you tell some stuff that maybe you don't think, or maybe you know that other people don't know. You know, for the people to go, ooh, you got the tea, we got some tea, and after a while, all that stuff dies down, and if you don't really have nothing else after that, they go away and back into the abyss from where they came. So I mean, we'll see. You know what I'm saying? But when people keep going back and forth, and going back and forth, it's just like, what for what? For what? For what? Anybody was watching would have known what was happening. He was very kind of smitten by what was going on. I don't know if it was alcohol or whatever it was. It was just like, okay.
Probably.
Yeah.
What time was this live? This wasn't one of the morning lives, was it?
It might have been morning, afternoon-ish kind of thing. I don't quite remember, but I know it was very risque for that time of thing, because I was even like, well, goddamn, like this ain't even
kind of early, ain't past 12 yet, huh?
Right.
Well, morning time is the right time. It's usually quiet.
This ain't even that type of like do this shit off, like do this shit off, like DM. This is the type of stuff you DM. Since already talking about somebody and somebody DMs, that's the type of stuff that you just leave for the DMs. I don't, because I think when you put stuff out there like that, granted, you may not have meant anything by it and it may have been harmless, but it also made you look very, I need some water. And it was kind of like, oh,
parched,
thirsty, like, oh, okay, oh, it was like, save this stuff for the background. Everybody don't need to know this, and some people don't care. Like I always say, I have my own, so I wasn't enthralled nor impressed by him always throwing it up and going, "Ooh, that thing big." Like, why are we doing this? Why? What purpose is this serving? Like, this is serving no purpose. Y'all could leave that for the background. Y'all could talk about this amongst yourselves. You don't. I mean, who comes on live sitting up there and you constantly, as you're talking, you're telling him to put up the screen so you can show him glimpses of yourself? Like, I don't care to see that. I don't care to see that, sir.
It's shock value.
Yeah, but for whom? But for whom? I mean, I guess
for both of them.
Lady, yeah, and I guess
for both of them, because if he wants to go somewhere else, Billy Bob or whatever wants to go somewhere else, and now it's like he's at so and so's chat. What is he going to do next? It's always what's next. What's next? Yeah, that type of thing. Yeah. And for Brian, it's like, well, free pain.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it is Pride Month. Oh,
Lord Jesus. Well, just because it's Pride Month don't mean you gotta act.
Look, y'all know how y'all men's are.
Jesus Christ. It's just
and walking hormones. That's all it is. Walking hormones.
It don't have to be like that all the time. But anyway, I said it don't have to be like that all the time.
No, but if it ain't, y'all mad.
Well, that just means somebody ain't getting them.
Yeah, like I said, y'all mad if it ain't happening. See, heterosexual men, women play us so hard anyway. You beg for it. Here. Nope. Snatch it back. We used to play the goddamn games. Y'all get mad. Choking out bitches and stomping motherfuckers out in the street in pride parades and shit. Have you seen any of those? No. They are the funniest thing. There's nothing funny to watching gay men fight.
Over nothing.
And be swinging, literally windmilling. Okay?
Yeah.
That is the funniest stuff.
Seriously.
It's like gnats. It's like gnats hitting it.
No, they really be busting.
No, I mean, they'll be swinging. And they'd be like 5 or 6 of them. They'd be like,
no pun intended. Yeah. And then the one where the guy was fighting and he got in his car and then started to like run over, like hit other people's cars to get the hell out of Dodge.
And don't even know what the hell they were fighting for.
Yeah. And I was like, that must be a hefty bill to pay for that rental car. Brained up.
Mm-hmm. be riding back home on the highway. It should be rattling. Damn bumper be flapping in the wind. You know you can't go past 65. It gets louder.
I can't with you. What else?
I need a good laugh.
But good. I'm glad I was able to. Glad we were all able to help you get there. Let's see what else is going on. Yeah, I don't know. There's supposed to be some other stuff. I know some people are live.
Oh,
right now.
I know Melissa's asleep now, but she's talking about bone carriers today.
Oh yeah, I did see a little bit of that, or hear a little bit of that about bone carriers.
Did you see Stump Downs?
No,
he did. Was it bone carriers, ass lickers, and something else? It's his latest one on. No, it is hilarious. He got on Timothy Blaine. I was fucking in tears. Stump, I just want you to know I hate you, man. I fucking hate you. I'm not supposed to be laughing at this. I was fucking dying.
I haven't seen it yet.
I'm not gonna tell you then, but you had to watch it, and I fucking laugh in the whole. Oh my god!
I have not seen it, but yeah, there's a lot, and that's a whole other thing about bone carriers and things of that nature. I don't know. It's all in how you. Again, it's all in how you conduct it, how you conduct yourself when you are the content creator and people come to you with stuff. If you handle it a certain way, people either will not come back to you with stuff, or they know, okay, he ain't gonna be or she ain't gonna be interested in
but
that.
First thing, call them what they are: instigators.
Right.
And that's exactly what they are. Yep, you have a new content creator that I've watched several times instigate and hop on there and say, yeah, I just ran over to so and so. They still there if you want to go there.
Right.
And I'm like, why are you egging this shit on? Why are you doing it?
Right.
I just told so and so and so and so.
Yeah.
What you know, and they said come on over if you would.
Right.
It's like, wait a minute.
Right.
You 55.
Right. Because
they're still in your system.
Yeah, because they like to be shit starters.
Yeah, shit starters on somebody else's mess.
Yeah, because it's not on theirs.
Mm-hmm.
It's not on theirs. And a lot of people are like that, unfortunately, here in this arena or this area. But you know, at what point does it get like, come on, like if it's legitimate, then let it be legitimate. Like if it's legitimate beef between those people, then let it be. But for people to kind of invoke themselves, and then when things get out of hand, then people feel some type of way because other things are then exposed.
And if it's naturally getting ready to, if it's, once it starts to die down naturally on its own, don't keep trying to refuel it.
Right. Well, I mean, people do that. Then at that point, for the clicks and the views, because then you want to hear the response that somebody said to something else, and then
this is for the bone carriers, because they'll keep coming back and just keep trying to reignite it. It's like that shit should be.
Yeah, let it go.
Let it go. It's dead.
Well, I don't know. Mm-hmm.
But he was hilarious. Talking about white cock. I was done. I was fucking done.
Not raw meat. Nobody eats it. Uncooked.
And I mean, it was brutal. It was brutal.
Mm-hmm.
It's a classic. I'll tell you that. But make sure you see it before it disappears. It's a classic. It is definitely. It ranks up there.
He does that too with the disappearing now.
No, look. I don't know if it's them or somebody flags it or whatever else, but you have to be quick because it's like, damn, I just saw it, or I can't find it.
Right. Well, I'll check it out. I will check it out. But let's see. I think that was it. That's all I really had. I don't think I had anything else.
Melissa was discussing that same thing.
I got to catch up on P-Valley.
You didn't see the last one?
No, but I saw a lot of clips. People were talking.
You got to see the last one.
I think I need to catch up on two of them.
Had a lot of thug loving in it.
From the clips I've seen on Twitter and other places, I guess it
It was just,
Did
it
I?
was funny. It was funny. I'm glad I watched that shit with my kids. I'm serious.
No,
Because
kids.
they'd be like, "What are you got me here? What?"
What do you
No,
want?
but no, because when I discuss it with my daughter, we just be laughing. I was like, "Girl, these motherfuckers crazy." But I'm like, but it must have been that must have been the Pride edition,
Oh,
the Pride episode.
that's the Pride.
Everybody
Was there.
Everybody. They had lesbians, they gays, men, and they didn't have any straight people.
They had lesbians, but they usually have the straight people in it too.
Oh yeah, they did too. They did. I forgot. Yeah, I'm not gonna tell you, but
Yeah, I was about to say I know of the developer and
the young lawyer, who's I don't know who's his stepfather, his godfather or something.
Who I think was his father. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just waiting to say that was probably his father.
Yeah.
But he left him the house.
Oh, okay.
He left him the house. So of course he had other children or whatever. Right. So they came in there and they took all that shit. They just literally left him the house. So he's gonna decide to run. Okay. Yeah, they did have a scene. Everybody was fucking. It was well represented.
Yeah, I was about to say,
because everybody was doing their thing.
Everybody got something.
Literally everybody was doing their thing. So yeah, make sure you watch that. You watch that tonight if you ain't got to go to work or nothing. Because that was a good one. And you let me know your thoughts on that one.
Okay, I will watch it and let you know my thoughts.
Mm-hmm. What about the wait a minute, because BAP said that folks are already bothered by gay sex scene. Yeah, but it is what it is.
I mean, but that's the part that gets me. You're not bothered by heterosexual sex scenes on TV, but you're bothered by those sex scenes on TV. They're all
gay men sex, because the gay, nobody's gonna. I haven't heard any women say anything. Oh, I don't like seeing lesbian scenes.
Well, I mean, I know some women who say that.
Do they? Oh, okay.
And gay women, but I do know some women also who don't mind. They don't mind watching two women in a scene on a show.
You know what?
They really are disgusted by two men, which I'm just like, right? Isn't it the same thing?
I was gonna say it's.
But
that's just how I'm wired. It just nothing that just doesn't bother me.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm like, oh, okay, that's cute.
But
some people get really up in their feelings about it.
And then not to mention that it's acting, right? So
yeah, and that's what it is.
Yeah, it's like at the end of the day, they're acting.
You kind of separate. It's not like I'm seeing this.
I'm really watching
at somebody's home. Yeah, and they're having a party. What's that?
Unless you're watching Pornhub with that classic theme music, you're just it's not real. So get over yourself.
Yeah. Well, shit, half of that's not real either.
It's stupid is
no,
watching the show with Uncle Clifford for 2 seasons now, right? And he's gay as a road lizard. So I mean, it's just like, seriously, what you think was gonna happen? You think
he must have had gastric bypass surgery?
He just supposed to be the gay man that's just supposed to, be around the girls and girl, honey, child, and wear.
I think that he's not supposed to have a light bulb,
right? And wear the most elaborate kind of outfits, but not have any kind of
your classic stereotypical flamboyant gay man,
right? Like I could be gay, but you can't be gay. You could just be tolerable gay.
You can be okay with Uncle Clifford, but it's the masculine ones. Well, that's because, and I always think it's kind of funny. That's why I just say thug loving, because I always think about the Boondocks.
Right? Yeah, when he was wearing a skirt. It's
like
that's gay.
He's supposed to be a hard nigga, but you really a hard nigga.
Yeah, I mean,
I find it funny. I was like, oh, isn't that they all tender?
Yeah, but I mean, even speaking of that, Joe Buttons, who's a former rap artist, I guess, who's become really big on his podcast thing. I don't know if he came out as bisexual or kind of basically saying he's had bisexual experiences, and kind of people were like, "Oh," and he was just like, "Well, what would make you like? First of all, what would make you think I'm attracted to you? Because I just happen to be gay." And I don't necessarily think he was saying it necessarily, but he was just basically making a point that just because he's bisexual don't mean he has to be attracted to, or just because anybody may be bisexual or whatever.
Because it's a blanket thought.
Right. Just doesn't mean that he would be attracted to you. Like you would be the person that I would happen to be attracted to if I was gay or bisexual. And I think that's the overall kind of wake-up call that people really need to hear. Like the discussions need to be had. Just because, every gay person or every bi person is not attracted to every male they see. That's so it's right. Like, please, and trust and believe, if the bitches don't want you, trust and believe, no or gay man wants you. You know what I'm saying? Because if you ain't shit with women,
they're not gonna want you. They're not gonna want you.
Nah, and 9 times out of 10, if they do want you, they only want you for your appendage. Other than that, that's about it. And then the story, and then those are just the ones that are kind of like searchers for size and like ooh, But I mean, really, if you ain't about nothing as an actual individual, don't nobody want you. Gay, straight, or in between. So I mean, the reality is it is what it is. AR, you're absolutely fine, sir. Thank you for coming. Always.
You late. I ain't gonna sugarcoat it. You late.
Yeah.
But you had to sit all the way in the back. We'll see if we have some seats up front.
Folks do need to realize, Babs, that it's not about them, but they so stuck on that something's about them. It's not about you. I know you like to wish you were the best thing since sliced bread, but you're not. And the same thing goes for a lot of gay men. A lot of gay men out here think that they are the best thing smoking, that they are fabulous because their attitude or how they carry themselves is that of something of grandeur.
They're usually,
and it's like, don't nobody want you. Don't nobody want you.
With a lot of gay men, like with women, they base all of theirs on aesthetics.
But what if they
how they look? Huh? But if you don't have a personality or you got a fucked up personality, nobody want to bother with you. You just okay for a couple of hits and that's it.
If you get that.
Yeah. Because some people just have real stinky attitudes.
Yeah. Smells like gorilla shit to me.
Yeah, but Bab said, Thug never said, Thug, that Thug love. I always think about that theme whenever I see two thuggish gay guys. And I wish they'd bring the Boondocks back. Oh man, that was hilarious.
Yeah, and not new ones. Like bring back the old ones.
The old. They, what, Tom has passed, and
and Grandpa's gone, so it's not even the same.
Gone or whatever. It just wouldn't be the same.
Yeah, that part is true.
Would not be the same, but it is. Everybody expects to have that Uncle Clifford.
Yeah,
it's always the stereotypical flamboyant gay man.
Yeah,
and here you got guys with grills and look like they ain't washed their ass. You know this? They look like they ain't washed their ass. Like you got to watch that. You definitely got to watch that because that's the first thing I said. I was like, well, damn, you ain't wash your ass.
Get up and put on your clothes. That's about it.
But at least they did use a condom.
Okay, well that's
like
cool.
I said, that had to be the gay pride edition. But really,
he's making folks confront the fact that they aren't okay with gay people. They're just okay with the idea of gay people. Yeah, but I mean that's the reality.
Yeah,
it's like Paul Moon, like the late Paul Mooney used to say, everybody want to be a nigga, but don't nobody really want to be a nigga. And it's the same, it's the same thing. It's like, I don't mind gay as long as they're not in my family. Oh no, I got gay in my family.
They all over and in your family.
Yeah, right. I mean, you get your hair done by him. You can do this, like all these things, and it's just like, come on, like let it go. Why are you so concerned with what somebody else does in their bedroom? It's beyond me. It don't make you eat, shit, breathe, anything any differently. Like it doesn't affect you. Even as a parent, if your child happens to decide that that's the direction that they want to go, does that really affect you? Yeah, you may be disappointed because they may not.
Well, that's what they come back with, that whole
I
want grandchildren type of
and all
thing.
that kind of stuff. It's like, first of all, you can still have grandchildren. That's not, that doesn't mean that you won't have grandchildren because of this. They will take a different avenue if they feel like that's what
they want children. Like I said, they may not want children.
Right. And then
them motherfuckers expensive.
Right. And then
that's why it's gonna be a lot of broke motherfuckers with this Roe versus Wade. Because men, you better stand by the women. You better stand by them because they coming after your pockets.
They are coming hard.
Yes, they are coming hard.
And then my thought, even on the abortion thing, real quick, is, of course, it is done to preserve white life. The reality is, this is done to preserve white life because it's been browning for a while now. And by 2030 and change, the Hispanic race will be the dominant race culture here in the United States. And they need to put a stop to it, point blank, period. So that's mainly what this is. Other than that, though, when we look at the dynamic of how this plays out, I could really just see different types of clinics, so to speak, in urban areas start to pop up out of nowhere, and those type of clinics and places won't be in suburban white areas because they won't have them, because their whole thing is promoting, of course, you have your baby, even if it's by your uncle or your brother or your whomever, it's still carrying on our lineage. We don't, them, we could care less about what happens to them. However that happens, it happens. We'll name it something else. So that way, they can go ahead and, kind of limit their birthing practices. And that could even also be through malpractice by a lot of doctors or clinics not being able to actually have the facilities to take care of Black women of color having babies. And it's such a larger conversation than just, wrap it up, or I don't want to do it for no. Huh?
I say it's vast conversation.
Yeah. So it's
because I tell you, the fools I was listening to over the couple of times on the weekend, I had to turn this shit off, literally.
Yeah.
I mean, I was on vacation anyway, and I was real selective about who
I
dropped in anyway, and it was just I wasn't shocked, but it just sounded like the same old shit.
Yeah, that part.
And it's like, well, no, it's like you're going about this all wrong. It's already happened. It's here.
Right.
There's nothing you can do about it. What you need to be concentrating on is how are we going to circumvent the whole thing? How are we going to get around it?
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, do what we do best. We'll find a way.
Right.
Like we always do. So it's like, don't get upset. Let's concentrate on what we need to concentrate, and concentrate on us first.
Yeah.
And don't tell nobody what we doing. Because motherfuckers like to talk and mess. And they mess it up.
Well,
because they they really don't. They look at us, but they don't really look at us.
Right.
And they really don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
You really don't.
Would you say, Babs? A lot of folks equate being gay with being feminine. That part is true.
Oh yeah, and it's not. And it's not.
DL. Yeah, very true. Would you say Petty Duke? Multiple generations. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Cause I can say all my gay cousins, you can always tell because they all, as soon as they got an age, they got the fuck out of Dodge. and
never came back. Just come back.
Never came. Ain't skipped a beat. Where you at? I'm in California. God damn, you ain't even say bye.
I'm out.
Uh-huh.
There's nobody wants
like,
to, like, you can't live like that. Like, truly, you have to be able to let people be themselves and develop into who they will become, whether that's something that you agree with or not. It's not your path. And that I don't know where, especially us as Black people, get that from. Like,
it's that church
like
though.
I'm handing my path off to you. Now you got to follow my path and take it further. But you got to follow my basic path, and then for my path, you can take it further. Why? Why can't your path be just your path? And then you train a child in the way it should go, meaning basics. Basics, and then
and all the rest of that other stuff you have nothing to do with.
Right. Everything else you don't have anything to do with because they're finding themselves from what you've taught. Then they, find the world out for themselves and progress further that way. I don't know what it is. I really don't. And I think that's the sad part with us. We're so concerned about this whole, and again, I know I've said this before, but it brings me back to this whole kind of breeding argument. Like, we must procreate, or we gotta do, and this is like, first of all, not everyone can do that.
And not everyone wants to do that.
Right. And that too.
Kids are expensive. They're expensive as shit.
Right. And that too. And especially when people complaining about, I don't want to take care of nobody's kids. I already take care of this one and that one kids. You really don't, but okay. Like, you really don't. The little $20 that they do take from you for that, I mean, you could put it in your gas tank. I mean, now, of course, it is more prevalent because gas is so high, but I mean, really, in the whole scheme of things, your $15, $20 that really goes to all them quote unquote baby's kids that you dream about in your head. It's not moving the needle, honey. Not moving the needle at all. Yeah, I mean, I love kids, but I'm just saying, not everybody wants.
You know what? Thank God for stepchildren, because I have none. I have no biological children. I do not feel bad about it. When I was out here dating, I always was straightforward with it, that I do not want any children. And I tell you from the get-go, if I was interested in you, and some of them were like, well, okay, whatever. And then like later on, they wanted children. They talk about they want to have children. It's like, oh, no.
Right. Ain't nothing changed.
Ain't nothing changed.
So like, I thought you were around. Don't you love me?
Yeah. So then I had to start dating out of my age range. I had to date older. And it was easier for me to date women with children. Okay. Because they had their, you know what? I'll help you take care of your children. I don't want any. And that was a lot easier. Even though when we first started dating, I always tell them I don't want to meet your children.
Right. Okay.
I'm dating you. I'm not dating the whole family. I ain't dating the whole family. We ain't doing that shit. We ain't doing all that. But it's not. I mean, children don't necessarily make your life. I mean, because they're not yours. Yeah. Okay. I mean, your kids aren't yours. Right. You're here. You bring them up to a certain point. Right. And then you have to let them go. And that's what Bap was saying. See, I still want to say the S on the end, but I caught myself. Living through the parents are trying to live through their kids' lives. Right. You can't do that because you did not seize the moment or was unable to. Yeah. You can't do it through your children's life. I mean, you set your kids up to do better than yourself. Right. But you can't live through their lives, and you should not have a case of the ass because they don't want to do what you want them to do.
Like, you can't be, walking through life with us anger and disappointment because they didn't follow your instruction to, do this with your life. It's their life. Things, just how you got to where you are in your life and things directed you, the same will happen for your children. And you either have to be there to kind of support and, be a listening ear and maybe give guidance, but to be the one like, you didn't follow my instructions, so now I must disown you or treat you less than, I think that is a total disservice. Because who's to say when they will come around to be on whatever path where you feel like, oh, okay, they kind of got. Some people just need time. Some people don't get it together and they 50 plus. Some people do. But it's a reality. Not everybody, not everybody's gonna be at the finish line at the same time. Some people, take them a while. Some people still trying to get there. Look at these motherfuckers on here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh shit! You be sitting up there talking to them. How old are you?
Mm-hmm. And people assume too that you'll be lonely.
Right.
Oh no, you're not lonely, because there are a lot of kids out here that need mentors.
Need homes. Yeah.
And need homes and things like that. Kids in your family, you always you're that favorite aunt or favorite uncle.
Right.
And you can relate to them a lot better than their actual parent.
Right, than the actual parents. Right. And then you can just give them back. I used to love doing that with my nephew.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, sure. We have a ball. And then it'd be like, oh, your parents are here. Here you go. See you next time. They'd be like, oh, like, I don't, no, I still love you, but,
Yeah, I need a break.
I can give you back. I love you, but you are the gift that keeps on giving back. Yeah, it's enough.
It's a hateful enough word.
Yeah, it really is.
People that choose to create. Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Patty Duke said, I never would have thought about having kids, but didn't want them. Yeah.
Well.
Girl, I'm fine.
Yeah.
I am fine. I'm serious.
I mean, I'm thankful to be here, of course, but I wish my biological father was like, you don't want kids, sir. I don't know why you sit up here talking to these women acting like you want kids, because you don't want kids. Because you don't even know how to take care. Like, you don't take care of children. You don't. You want to live your life and just spread your seed like you some kind of Johnny Appleseed or something. Like that.
Shooting up the clubs, huh? Club hopping.
Like, I really just didn't, like, what's the, and then you want to act like, oh, your children should come to you and be like, well, what happened? What's wrong with you? Ain't nobody got time for that. I know. I don't need to know. I don't care. And I'm thankful to be here. But other than that, like, dude, like, it's okay. If you wanted to just be out there, then you should have just been out there. Just tie it up, but do something with yourself. All this going on.
A lot of times people don't realize it. They figure they have to follow the same route that their parents did.
Yeah, but if that left you damaged, why would you continue to do that? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the part that's the message. If it left you damaged because your father was out here sprinkling his seed like Johnny Appleseed, why the fuck would you then do that to someone else? And then when they don't want nothing to do with you, you feel some type of way, like, oh, you're no one, sir. You're no one.
That's the one thing I can say. My parents have never said to me, never asked why I didn't have any. She never came, especially my mother's like, why don't you have a kid? She's like, I know how you are. You don't want no kid.
Right.
That's not like I'm bad or anything, but it's just like, the damn kid would be so militant.
Right. No.
That's the problem. That's the real problem. I didn't want to have a kid that I would have to weaponize to deal in this world as a black man.
Yeah.
Because I was lucky enough to see it for what it is. And my father was like, do what you want to do. Whatever.
Whatever, right. Yeah. I don't know.
But you used to have real problems dating in my age range when I was younger, because young girls wanted to settle, especially when they were ready to settle down. They wanted children or whatever, and they said, I had a dream about it. We had a baby. Blah, blah, blah. Oh no, we didn't. No. You know what?
Wake up, bitch.
That's when motherfuckers start packing his bag. It's time for me to go on that midnight train to Georgia. I'll get the fuck out of Dodge. I ain't trying to hear that shit.
But like, honey, you need to wake up. You need to wake up.
Are you kidding? Hell no.
Wake up.
I don't mind changing diapers and all that shit, but no, it's a lot of stuff comes with that. A lot of responsibility.
It is. It is a lot of.
It's not that I wasn't ready for it. It's just I ain't want it. I likes to spend my money on me. I like to have my life. I like to be able to pick up and go when I'm ready to go. I ain't do all that. Shit. If I say, come on, we going this way on the weekend, it's like, I gotta find a baby. Oh no, that was the wrong answer. No.
So
I never know when I'll have this feeling again.
It's a they go, I gotta find a babysitter. Wrong. Oh, dude.
No, but luckily when I was dating the older women, if you give them enough time, they'll find a babysitter. I'll give you enough time. I'm gonna tell you a month in advance. We're going to go here. Oh, I got a babysitter.
Right.
Matter of fact, they can keep him for an extra day.
So we can really party.
So we really have good. I guess you don't get out and get to be without the kids that often.
Yeah.
You always got even when you say if it's supposed to be just you and the kids, everything's going to revolve around the kids.
Yeah.
And do things around the kids.
Right.
I just want to get drunk and just lay around.
Right. Yeah.
I'm good to go. Sitting on the beach. I don't want to run through the water. No, I come to the beach to sit on the beach. Not go in the water.
Yeah.
I don't want to splash that. Nah.
Oh, not even that you look too fertile.
Wait.
Like you,
but you know what? I know some women like that. I know. I worked with this girl, and she had just got married, and she was just like one of those ones with the calendar, with the fertility calendar, and all the rest of that stuff. And she planned that shit out because before she said, "I'm going to get pregnant on this, such and such and such." I was like, "Were you like bred from when you were a kid? This was like your whole thing,
right?"
Like a lot of dolls.
And get married. I'm gonna have babies.
I'm gonna have babies and all the rest of that. And like I said earlier,
blaming Disney.
those are those women, those pro-life women, that gonna figure out later on, 6 kids later, within 10 years, that that shit's rough because that man probably man ain't guaranteed to stay nowhere.
Yeah, and that's the reality of it. Men can so easily get up and walk away from a lot of these situations.
They tighten up on those child what the hell you call it? The child care shit that you pay. Child support.
Yeah.
If they because that's
if they tighten up anymore, shit. You think a man would be able to do anything? Right now, if he's back child support, they taking licenses. They
just started doing all child support is not that old.
Yeah, I know.
It really isn't because men didn't pay anything. Right. The only time you might have heard about child support is in the divorce case. That type of thing. So much money is allowed because women were so restricted. Women couldn't back in the 70s. Women couldn't buy homes by themselves. They could not have their own credit cards.
Yeah,
all this shit is still relatively new. Relatively new.
Yeah, that part is true.
Had a fertility calendar and not to have babies. That's right. That's right.
But I can't do nothing with you this week.
It's like, what's real funny? When you're in a house full of women and they all cycle around their mother. Their menstrual cycles sync with their mothers. They all come around. They are all on about the same time. Most men don't know that. Yeah, but you have more than one. They'll usually the mother usually leads it off, and then the daughters fall behind. Then they'll start their cycle.
Never even paid attention to that.
Yeah, that's only when you're in a house. Yes, I mean when you're in a house full of girls, you can't.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, but I think it was even kill because it was even. So.
But they would always cycle around the same time.
But for the most part, I just knew my sister was like when she started really acting. I'm like, leave me alone.
I like that one. A man told me once he looked too fertile.
You look too fertile.
He looking ripe, looking juicy. He looking fatty. Patty.
Childbearing hips. Just
yeah.
Had them childbearing hips. He said, I can't.
What he was saying was, I might get in trouble.
Right. That's what he was
locked down. Be locked down.
He's like, it'll be over for me. But
Yep.
anyway, yeah. That's all I got, peoples. Yeah, that's all I got. I don't know nothing else. Unless anybody wanted to add something. Do you have any closing remarks, words? Anything you want to add, sir, before I head on out of here?
No, just make sure you watch this episode of P-Valley.
Okay.
And I want your thoughts on that one.
I will watch P-Valley tonight. Okay, I'll be caught up, and I will text you my thoughts. Probably. In the
and The Boys. Did you watch the last episode?
I haven't seen that since the dude was walking through the guy's penis. I was so traumatized by that shit.
Yeah, this is what do they call it? Hero. The episode is Herogasm.
Oh God. I can just imagine. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I will check.
Does anybody have anything else to add?
You said you
had a very enlightening conversation.
Yes, we did. As always, I enjoyed it. You had the breast. Oh, you had the milk jugs. Oh, okay. Milk jugs.
Brought all the boys to the yard.
Shit. That's about it good.
Oh, it was good seeing Antonio.
Yeah.
Was it Friday, Saturday?
It was Friday. Yeah.
Friday, yeah. How is he doing?
He's good. He's good. Just chilling, hanging in there. With his new executive position. He doesn't have much time anymore, but he's enjoying it.
Yeah, good.
He's enjoying it.
Like to hear that.
Yep,
especially down there.
Yeah.
You know, that's just such a
battle.
Especially
where he is. It's very just like where I am almost. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. He yeah.
Damn.
He is.
There's a lot of white folk down there.
Yeah, it's like central.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I figured too that when he got his promotion, you have to kind of watch what you do.
I put it in the back chat. It was like, oh yeah, run.
Yeah, like I said,
I was like, run.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, well, yeah, I saw that on his. Yeah. Because of his position, you have to kind of watch what you do.
Yeah.
So I just figured that's why he kind of backed off a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit,
especially with the type of topics that were being discussed. So that's totally understandable. Yeah.
We don't want to have a JW situation.
No, you just don't want them to stumble upon some shit and they'd be like, "Oh, well, I never knew," and you still won't know.
Right. Yeah.
Well, what he could do though is get one of those doggy masks. I've seen those. I want one of those. Have you seen those?
He has one. Yeah.
Huh? He has one?
Yes.
Tell him he ought to put that on. I sure would. I put that on and keep the same name.
That thing looks hot as hell.
It does look hot, but that's some sexy look. Somebody came at me with a mask on. I'm usually afraid of masks. Just don't come with me with a clown mask on. I'm terrified of clowns.
Oh, you wanted them?
You know what it is? I can't read your face. Anything with your
face.
If you have a mask, well, that mask, that's because it's something sexual. It doesn't bother me, but
okay. 50 Shades of Grey.
Great, yeah. No, I want you to be whipping my ass and sticking whipping my ass or sticking things in my ass. That's not what I want to do. But no, that's because that's tied into being something sexual. But anything like a mask type of thing or makeup, I can't read your face, and I waited until like I'm 5,000 years old to figure that part out, that I can't read your emotional cues in your face, and it freaks me out.
So what if you have like safe words? Can you
safe words? That's
like,
not a problem.
Pineapples.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I think you said push.
Pineapple. I said push, no pineapples.
No, it feels like a pineapple going in my head. No. And like I said, you never let somebody who's never driven a car drive a car, okay? Because they've been a punch of the lung, and you know those, and you know those, them dildos. They don't have no nerve endings. There's no way in the world you gonna be jamming something 8 inches, 9 inches up my ass. You know, because the colon and shit does curve.
That is all the rage nowadays. That is all.
You know what?
That's all I'm saying.
It will not happen.
It is all the rage.
If you stuck a finger in my ass, you being lucky. You being real lucky. You will not be doing any of that.
Why you hit me? Girl, I told you, stay away.
See,
I got nervous.
No, I'll watch everybody else with the strap-ons. That's enough. I'll watch it. Yeah, you ain't doing all that to me. Shit. And I had me in a wheelchair. Yep. They collapsed my ass.
What's that guy who was running for? What is he running for? Mayor of oh my gosh, somewhere in Maryland. Mayor of PG County, I think he is. He's like, "Come on, Maryland, let's be rolling." He had an accident and ended up in a wheelchair. He's like, "Come on, Maryland, let's roll." It's his slogan.
You know what? I think I heard that one too. Yeah, what happened to him? Be in my bio. What happened to him? Oh, collapsed his ass.
He had a double-sided stuck in his ass.
Literally.
Right. But yeah.
Wait, just say no.
Right. On that note, too, I did forget. Prayers go out to the Mexican immigrants that were locked in the
yes. Was it container?
Container truck. And most of them died from
heat exhaustion.
And amongst other things. I mean, some children did live. They have been rushed to the hospital, and some adults. But yeah, prayers go out to those individuals. Obviously, of course, this whole border crossing is still going on, regardless of who's president, because, of course, people are trying to get the hell out of Dodge. And until we kind of work on the problem, what is forcing them to actually take that journey and risk their lives, then this will never stop, regardless of how many fences or walls we try to build. Which I think is
because evidently something's going on.
Yeah, right, exactly. Instead of attacking the problem, because of course the problem brings you money, so you don't want to attack that. But that's the reality of it. Drugs, the guns, and all that kind of stuff that's, raking in the money. They don't want to stop it. They just want to stop the immigrants from coming over, but they don't want to stop the money that they make from the drugs and the guns and everything else. But yeah, so.
Yeah, plus the weather has been really hot.
Yeah, of course.
Global warming.
Right.
Yeah, we burn up no sheds.
Burn up the she shed.
Well, he got a new apartment now, so don't burn that shit up. And he got his MacBook back. Are you good?
Yes.
Okay. Now I did hear that one, and I laughed.
Oh, good.
You gonna send him a housewarming gift?
No.
Huh?
No.
Oh, you're not gonna send him a housewarming gift?
He's having a housewarming? I thought you were being funny.
Oh no.
Oh, I mean,
no, they gonna send him something. They sending him something. Yeah, I told you I've been hanging up. I've been swinging like a monkey on the bars.
I haven't really been. I haven't really been paying attention. I know recently, actually today, I was catching up on a live that he did where one of his mashups apparently had gone viral. So kudos.
Oh, it has. Good for him.
Yeah, that's what I say. He took it to Twitter, and it went viral on Twitter. He said so. Good for him because, of course, he figured on this side of the spectrum he wasn't going to get much support. So he took it to Twitter, and it has went viral. So, kudos to him. You keep doing your thing.
Well, I think over in Twitter, it doesn't. The algorithm allows your stuff to get out further.
Yeah. Well, certain stuff they still block me, but it's okay.
You say they still block you.
Yeah, it's okay.
I just use mine to post other people's stuff.
Yeah,
because I don't know what Elon Musk is going to do, and if he takes it over, I may just bail. I end up doing like a Facebook type thing.
What you
just
say?
Bail with that. You see, once a man once asked me what I thought about to me anally, and I asked him what he thought about him being a D.
Being an appendage. Yes. I don't know.
Well, you do bring all the boys to the yard, so
yeah.
They ain't say what kind of boys, but
Right. Everybody just saw milk and was like, thirsty. Thirsty. Hey, what's going on, BB Nice?
Hey, BB Nice, how you doing?
Nice to see you. Everybody was like, thirsty. It's the milk, bro. It's the milk. Yeah. But moreover, yeah, that's all I got. Of course, it's my time. It's 2 hours and 2 minutes. For those of you just coming in, hopefully you Red Bull it back. Or if you've been up in the balcony just chilling, listening to the vibe, thank you so much. And, next week, of course, those of you who know, if you do, while I'm still remembering, if you do happen to come across any stories or anything like that, please feel free to drop it in my DM box on my Instagram. If you do happen to connect to my Facebook, then you could drop it there. But yeah, because I don't see everything all the time.
So yeah, if you have any comments, leave them in the comment section. I do like reading some of that stuff.
Yeah, some of the comments are crazy. Yeah, and do check out the nightcap from this last Friday.
Yeah, that was a spur of the moment thing.
Yeah, it was a spur of the moment, and there was a discussion because I was listening to the radio, and a young gentleman had called in about a particular situation with him, his wife, and his side piece. So definitely check that out because I really want to know your thoughts. Because I was not here for it at all. And people say, "Oh, well, no, she might because she really want to have a baby." I don't see it.
Oh, yeah, you know what? Yeah, that happens a lot.
That's crazy.
That happens a lot.
That's crazy. I mean, I'm not surprised, but that is crazy that you that you would do that and just think like, well, I got time to work this out, so when it does come out, I'll be good and we can move on. The fact that you even, that's your whole thought process.
But you know what? But she probably already knows that's how he is.
Yeah, I mean, and that part I accept, and that part even makes it even worse. That this is not the first time you've done this. This is years of this kind of abuse or treatment to the point where she's just utterly numb to it. And I think this, this is just more of the same with you.
And I've seen older women that have done that. Husband has been out there in them streets and brought back a child and brought the baby. You wouldn't know the difference unless she didn't say anything.
Was that Fences with Denzel Washington?
Yeah.
Denzel Washington and Viola Davis.
Yeah, nobody was going. Nobody has time to sit up there and fuss about the thing because you knew, and if you have that inkling in the back of your mind that he's out here running the streets and he's doing what he's doing, especially back in the day, it was just expected.
Yeah, but now in modern time, I'm just like, seriously, are we still doing it?
Yeah, they still doing it. They still doing it. But then, like I put in the chat, you have to ask what's going on in their relationship.
Yeah.
Is there something physically going on? Or either she can't have children, or she's had children. A lot of times you'll have children that throws you off.
Yeah.
You know, you trying to take care of kids. He wants to fuck all the time.
Right.
And he doesn't have no bitch. Wash some dishes and help me keep this motherfucker clean. Then we can have some playtime. I'm chasing after a 2-year-old all damn day long.
Right.
You know. And he's just out there.
Again, because it's that detachment. You know what I'm saying? They don't have to be kind of in
Yeah,
that.
you don't have to be in love with you. It have that much of an emotional thing. It's just the urge at that moment.
Yeah, this is crazy.
But it happens a lot.
Yeah, definitely check it out. I would love to hear your feedback and your thoughts on that particular topic. So definitely check that out. And that's all I got. That's really all I got. And until next time, my beautiful Black people, and
please stay safe.
Please stay safe.
Don't allow this stuff out here to stress you out too much. There's always ways around everything. Concentrate on figuring out the ways. Don't keep bashing yourself about old shit.
Right. And definitely primaries are coming up for your elected officials. So, you know, you have to vote this go around to pick who you're voting for in November. So please don't let these primaries go unchallenged. So this way your candidate that you know, believe in or want to vote for is chosen as the front runner to then run in November. So these are important. So don't wait till November and then go, well, I don't like none of them.
Yeah.
Get on the ball.
This is a tool, and to use it. I mean, granted, neither one of these parties are doing anything.
Right.
Well, we weren't I don't know why. We weren't expecting Joe to do anything, okay?
Really?
So I don't know why the people keep saying, I thought Joe was going to be our
look at the gas prices. Joe did these gas prices.
Joe had nothing to do with the gas prices.
Joe had nothing to do with the gas prices.
His reaction has a lot to do. But he had...
I can't with you. Joe had nothing to do with the gas prices. His reactions may be slow. Yes. But Joe
real slow. We ain't even talking about him falling off the bike. But anyway.
He fell on a stop. Give the man a break. He is almost 80-something years old.
And his foot, he was using cages to hold your feet. In the pedal.
In the pedal. Yeah,
the pedal,
he was probably slipping off.
What's that?
His foot slips off when he
No, but see, the problem is when you stop, you're automatically want to lift your foot up.
Yeah.
You have to lift your foot up. With the cages, you have to pull your foot back.
Yeah.
I used to ride with the cleats where they lock you into the pedal.
Yeah.
And you had to
until they scrape the back.
Or you don't kick out.
Yeah.
And you fall and you still locked to the bike. That's what happened. He stopped too soon, and that motherfucker
couldn't kick his foot out.
He kicked his foot out. No, he barely walked. He walked like Nancy Pelosi in them kitten heels. He kind of
and he's got his arms starting to be like John McCain, where he couldn't like wait.
Yeah.
They're starting to be like little.
I can't see him doing formal.
He
was just supposed to stop the bleeding. That's all he was supposed to do.
That's it. And again, the inflation, the gas prices, all this stuff that's increasing is because a bill hasn't been paid. Remember, there was a huge tax cut before there were stimulus checks. There was a huge tax break to the wealthy 1.5% and others, which we did not get. So that bill has not been paid. Yes.
And we still didn't get. If you looked at your income tax returns, you know you got less back.
If you got
anything,
talk about it. So
I ain't selling no ass for it, but god dang,
right. Like, I don't do no polls, but I could manage a motherfucker. Manage a few people. Shit, I will manage you. But yeah, so please, when we get all bent up out of shape about this stuff, know the reality is there are other things that cause this reaction. So it is not always, I bet y'all wish Trump was in office now. Honey, Trump put us in this predicament. Please don't think that just 4 years of nothing, 4 years of unpaid bills catch up. The bills
it's still there.
The bills are due. So it doesn't matter. The bills just go to the next occupant. It's just like moving into somebody else's house before they change the address. It's like those bills are still going to come until you go to the post office and say, return to sender. That person doesn't live here. Those bills are due. And that's really where we're at. 2 years of slowness due to COVID and the lack of reaction. So you had that on top of a bill that was due that wasn't paid.
And you also had the oil processing plants. They shut down because they had nobody to man them because everybody was sick.
Right, and they couldn't have but so many people man them. So all this stuff kind of
but understand voting is it is a tool, and even though neither one of these parties are doing anything for us, it allows you to readjust on the fly who you can put in office.
Right, it does.
So make sure you do a background investigation to see what other candidates are out there.
Yeah, because they are. And no offense to the Perez's and the others of the world. I'm really tired of seeing the same old people running on the Democratic ticket. Let's put some different
new blood
who are not typical politicians in these positions, and let's see what they do.
And that's happening.
And right,
you're starting to see a lot of
like
new
Westmore faces, and all these other people who are running. And please stop going with the same old narrative. I'm tired of seeing now the white man with the black woman talking about, we running for governor and lieutenant governor. Listen, it worked the one time with them two. Please let's not make this everybody's playbook to win the women's black vote because you putting the black face next to the white man going, oh look, we're so progressive. Save it, save it, save it. I'm just tired of it at this point.
And this will be my last thing.
What's that?
Please stop waiting for leadership.
Well, that's because they waiting on Jesus. That's the religion in them.
Please, I was over at Consciousness chat when the whole thing broke with Roe, and he has he has mega chats with all the people screaming at each other, and this woman was like, we don't have any leadership. We don't have any black leadership, and black men need to step up because we need leaders and all the rest of that. And then I was like, woman, stop with the shit. Stop with the shit. I said, what have you learned? What have we learned when you put all your eggs in two baskets?
Right.
They're dead.
They crushed them. Right.
They're dead.
Yeah.
I said, we have the advantage. You don't have to have one centralized thinker.
Yes. For the group. Right.
Yeah. Not only that they're dead, the idea and the momentum slowed down.
Right.
I said, you need to have many heads.
Yeah.
And I said, and stop looking for men to fucking save you. Because you're going to be standing out there on that bus stop in the dark all the time.
Disney.
Oh, man. This woman, she made me so fucking mad. I was like,
I blame Disney for the fairy tale of the here comes the shiny
she
prince.
said that shit. I'm like,
me.
You don't even see your own power.
Right.
Here you have men that are, you have black men that are incarcerated, high numbers, but yet you're the most educated people on the fucking planet. And you still coming up with the same old stupid shit. I said, you don't even believe in yourself. You don't even see your own power.
Well, because that's because they're always trained to, and I say they because it's a mindset of them that are trained to believe that a man shall lead them. Because again, this is what religion teaches, that a man is the leader of the household. A man shall lead them out of the wilderness.
Women have been running the households.
We know this.
And they've been doing all this shit. And they don't believe in themselves. And I'm like, who the fuck are you?
They will run and support a man running for office because they feel like, oh, women are too sensitive. Women are not.
No, she don't know what she's talking about.
She don't know what
That's
she's talking about, or she's not strong enough. Like what? Okay, every other nation has had a woman leader. Hell, there was even a woman warrior, an African woman who was a warrior who had a whole entire couple of armies behind her, and yet you think that a woman is not strong enough to run a nation. Okay, great.
Look, just because you're a woman doesn't mean that you can't be out here doing the same thing.
Thank you, Tiffany. Thanks for coming. Yeah, right. And it's like, stop limiting yourself.
But to doubt yourself,
yeah,
and then you come up on a platform and you're discussing the topic that you're discussing, and you're looking to someone else, some male, to save you.
Yeah.
I said, if you're talking about half these motherfuckers that are in prison and the majority of them that are out on the street.
No, because she's waiting for the Umar Johnsons of the world to step up.
It sounds nice.
Who's out in the mall?
Nice, but you need action. You know what? I can string together some nice words, but there's no action. But then too, let's be realistic. Easily corrupt.
Right. Yeah. Power.
Power corrupts.
Power corrupts. Yeah. Yeah.
But she fucking blew my mind. I was like, I gotta get off. I turned that shit off.
Right.
I was like,
Messiah, guys, like it's all agree to save us. Right. I mean, yeah. But again, that's where religion comes into play. Always looking for the one
was the one, and that's the first thing I said. And you know, Conscious plastered that shit up there and left it up there for 20 minutes, right?
On purpose.
On purpose. I knew what he was doing. But that's the first thing I said. I was like, and where are they at now? They're all dead. And you're still waiting on the Messiah.
Right. And they chilling in graves.
No. I said, oh, you played yourself real.
Mm-hmm.
Stop waiting for somebody to save you.
Yeah.
God damn.
Always looking for Jesus. Always looking for Jesus.
Well, you're gonna be upset when they find out the real story.
Right. That part. Where is white Jesus? Where is white Jesus? He's not here. Because he never was to begin with. Yeah.
I'm glad you said it, and not me.
Well,
these are his thoughts and mine. And mine. Okay.
I mean, if you really did your research, you could just put two and two, and this don't take no theological, kind of deep research. If you just look at regions and just realize, no, it didn't quite work out that way. And everybody has the same kind of Messiah-ish story. Just is like something's ain't right.
Yeah. I was going to say, each religion.
Yeah, each religion has a similar story.
Change the color and you change the name.
That's it. And you change the characters to kind of fit your religious principle. And then you're like, oh, this one popped up.
I thought the Lord had cut me off. Something had popped up on my computer. I was like, oh, he ain't like that shit.
Stop your shit.
That's right. Women, I don't know why we know why, but in this day and time, and with everything that we've been through, and the strength that women have, and for you to doubt yourself, and then you get up on a platform, you get on a diverse platform like Consciousness, because his intersects so many different people, and to say some blasphemous shit like that.
Blasphemy.
Oh my God. See, that's why I could never, and he always said, come on up. And I'm like, I ain't going up there because the people screaming and hollering. And I said, plus your monologue too long. Y'all have to tell 5 or 6 goddamn stories. And I lost my train of thought. Too short, okay? Too short. But oh my God, she blew my fucking mind. I can honestly say that she blew my fucking mind, and I was done. And I was like, I'm not dropping down in anybody's chat.
I heard a little bit of that. I didn't hear all of it, but I heard a little bit of it.
It was crazy, man. It fucking blew my mind.
But that really did. How, a lot of times, unfortunately, that's how these people are very much trained that thou shall be the one to lead us. And it's like, we all have the power to be the one.
Look, women are more threatening than men, especially when they have children to take care of
Hey, what's up,
or to
Houston?
protect. Hey, Houston. Hey, girl. Shondo. Cult leader. Yeah. But oh my gosh, I'm like, what are you telling these young ladies?
Right.
I had to get the fuck off the I did. I had to get the fuck off of the thing. It was just too much. It was just too much stupidity. She really brought nothing. She should have just sat down in the chat and just listened. Because sometimes
a lot of times people don't know what to say, but they want to feel included or part of the conversation. So they just say, things
that was not
elevated and kind of intellectual, but it's like that girl. We passed that bridge.
Yeah, because she was one of the ones that was discussing. Men should keep their dicks in their pants and whatever else. It's like we're trying to figure out how we can help these women have a safe procedures. This is what we need to be. This is what we need to be brainstorming about.
Right. Because again, it's not about this. This is about everything. This is about in vitro and fertilization for people who are trying to have
and understanding what is actually being impacted.
Right. This is not just about aborting babies and people saying, "Well, I've had 5 abortions." Really, and the one person was like, "Oh, that person said they had 80 abortions." No, doctor.
No. A lot of that foolishness. You just
the reality is girl.
But then understanding too that clinics do more than just abortions.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Those clinics are
some women never see a gynecologist.
Right. Where they get all of the health care from a place like Planned Parenthood, their disease prevention medication, their cancer screenings. All of these things have been done and facilitated through Planned Parenthood and other places like that. So to just think that they were just there for abortions is ridiculous. And,
because I even saw on, it had to be CNN, a trans man with his kids. Okay, they need to be a little bit more vocal. Now, whether or not they come out, come out, and I mean, because it's just so much. There's so many people that are protesting at the moment. The only reason why I picked it up was because he had no breasts. I looked at because his kids still referred to him as mommy, but you obviously knew that was a trans man.
Right.
Okay. I think the trans men need to come out and be more vocal, because then you would see the full spectrum of what the clinic actually does and what it takes care of. It's not just abortions.
Yeah.
So.
But what can you do?
Yeah, I got that off my chest. I feel better now.
Yes,
dude. That shit was blowing my mind over the whole weekend. Plus everything else is just getting on my nerves. I turned this shit off.
Yeah, no, I agree. I didn't drop down in a mini. I listened to a lot of discussion, and a lot of it I was like,
was it like an extra amount of just dumbness? Just
okay. It was, and a lot of ill-informed situations. Very much a lot of ill-informed situations. Because I even had to drop down in one chat and was like, no, actually, Trump did not pack the court. That was Mitch McConnell's doing. Trump had nothing to do with that. And again, just as much as Trump used them, the reverse happened. They used Trump to make sure, okay, keep us in. And while you keeping us in, I'm gonna pack all these courts with federal judges that will, agree to get.
And now you see the impact of the virus called Trump. Even though he's not here, his residuals
are still.
This is what's happening.
Yep. So, yeah. So it's unfortunate that Obama left so many federal seats open, but he had no choice because who was the leader of the Senate at the time? Mitch McConnell. Mitch McConnell wasn't having it. Nor was he confirming any federal judges. So it was more than just not accepting Merrick Garland to sit on the Supreme Court. He wasn't accepting any judges that were brought forth his desk as far as any federal judges brought by the president. So again.
But then in turn, just like with Clarence Thomas, they should have went after his wife because his wife was funneling all that money, to her family.
Yeah. I think they still will. I hope they still will.
Well, on both of those hoes.
Yeah. I hope they not, because
Elaine Child.
We might have another January 6th. The fuck? So what?
You know what? And I don't know why they're so afraid. Well, first of all, those guys, the first batch that went up there, they wouldn't have made it. Them motherfuckers was too out of shape.
Yeah,
they'd have died on the step just from the excitement.
Truly, if they were really about it, them come on. They would have they would have burnt down the whole goddamn Capitol and just rebuilt the shit. Really. I mean, they would have dropped the net.
It will eventually happen.
Yeah, it will.
That you can guarantee. There are more weapons in private hands than what they have. Yeah. And who's to say they want to bring in the military? Who says that the
military is not
are not going to turn against them?
Not going to turn against the Like Pence knew the shit. That's why he didn't jump in that car. He said, "No, I'm staying right here in the Capitol."
Oh, he's stupid too.
Yeah, he's a waste of space.
He should have just went on the Pride and just came on out.
Yeah, something.
I saw him in them hot pants, and I was like, "Boy."
Yeah, and
that was in 1970s.
And the choker was a dead giveaway. But I don't see him running for president. Like, being this cowardice, I really cannot see how you think you can stand up against not only just Trump, but even someone Trumpian like a Trump, like a Ron DeSantis, who actually has.
I guarantee you, the next Trump-like person, will be smarter.
Yeah. So I just Ron DeSantis, in a poll recently done this week, has kind of come neck and neck with Trump in a primary. So, and again, that could be nothing but tea leaves, because what they could do is just make him the vice president VP.
True. And push. But then too, it all depends on
what they do,
where they polled.
Like
if you're seeing a lot of these polls now, and the incident may have happened earlier that day.
Right.
You can't do a blanket poll of the whole country. You're just taking one little sect. So people have to remember that too. Don't get all upset in
a poll
because and wrapped up in polls, because polls lie, because they're not doing a cross section of the country anyway.
Right.
I mean, sure, DeSantis is gonna he's gonna
Satan.
Satan. Yeah, because I wanted to say that. That was coming out because that's what I thought about.
Right, Satan. Yeah.
Yeah. Him and Hot Wheels. He's going to be in trouble too, because everything with those young kids, they're covering up all that stuff that's going on with those children.
Right.
And I mean, they literally covering up.
Yeah, they really are. 90 minutes. Who does that? You know what I'm saying? Like, and then you start running after the parents. ICE calls down to run after the parents because they screaming to get in there and save their kids.
Now, supposedly, there's one parent. She's being harassed. The one parent that went in and got her children. The police are harassing her.
I'm not surprised at this point.
And what she ought to do, pull her gun out. You run now. And they were coming to the conclusion that the guys were afraid of the weapon that he had.
Yeah. That's all.
But they had shields.
But they rather just let the kids die.
That had to be horrifying. You're in the hallway and you're hearing this stuff going on.
because they weren't their kids. I bet you sure if Becky and Susie Ann was up in that bitch, they would have went up in there. If there was a whole bunch of Becky Anns and Susie Mays, they would have went up there instantly. But because it was none of them that they felt compelled to go running after and saving, they didn't care to do nothing about it. But that's the reality that we live in, and that's the hard truth that people seem to like skate over. It's like, oh no, but they're supposed to be there to protect, and if they can't do that because they're more looking at, well, what skin color are the kids, or is it a bunch of Hispanics or immigrants in there? Well, we could wait a while and see what happens. Well, as people are dying, like, come on, we can't, then you can't sit there in the next breath and go, oh, I stand by the blue. What blue? That cowardice blue that you're talking about? Mm-hmm. Who will quickly kill an unarmed black man or woman or let children die? But lo and behold, I can't even wrap my head around it. Like, it's just.
Well, the United States is definitely having its reckoning because everything is being pulled up.
This is not a racist country.
Every time I don't know who that always plays that clip. With, is that Tim Scott that says that?
Yeah, Tim Scott and
Kamala Harris.
And Kamala Harris.
It's like, are you fucking kidding me?
Right. Just crazy. Shit. Just absolutely crazy.
They just hide it well, and now the whole world sees it, and that's what I'm glad. I'm glad that that's going on. That the whole world actually sees.
Well, thanks to you all. Thanks to you all, and this thing called the internet and media. It gets out to the masses, and so things can't be covered up as they once were. But on the back end of that, though, again, Republicans making legislation to where in which things that do get out, people can get in trouble for putting out information, for putting out things that happen violently to people, things like a George Floyd, somebody recording that. Again, now they're moving forward with having legislation where if you do something like that, you could then be in trouble for video.
And that's why we're going to have another January 6th. Okay. It's coming, bitch. It's coming.
I smell it in the air. I can smell the rain coming. Yeah. But
okay, son. Go ahead and let you go.
Thank you. Yeah. But it's been a pleasure, guys. Definitely thank you for coming out. Same time, same bat channel, same bat time next week. Any other parting words you have, sir?
Good night. Stay safe.
Please
take a break.
Yes, cut it off. It's okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to cut it off again.
Yeah. All right, guys. Good night and peace.
Take care.